friends! This fall, we are taking a look at the Old Testament stories of biblical heroes. As we look at these stories, there are two things we want to make sure we keep in mind. The first, that these heroes are not perfect or extraordinary. Rather, they're ordinary people just like you and me who put their trust and faith in God. And second, that the real story of the Bible isn't about these heroes at all, but about God and God's love for us. Though sometimes we have to look a little bit deeper to see how God was present in these stories. Last week, we talked about Abraham and Sarah and how God is always at work, even if it's not in the way that we expect. This week, we are talking about Jacob. Jacob's story takes place over chapters 25 to 50 of the book of Genesis, but we're going to be focusing on chapters 25 to 35 for this week. Jacob is the second-born twin son of Isaac, who was the son of Abraham and Sarah. Technically, since Jacob's brother Esau was born first, Esau was the one set to inherit the most from their father. Esau was also their father's favorite, more of a brawny outdoorsman, while Jacob was their mother Rebekah's favorite and was more cunning. When their father Isaac was about to die, Jacob and his mother tricked him into giving Jacob the blessing intended for his firstborn. Esau was distraught and outraged and plotted to kill Jacob once their father had officially passed. Rebekah heard of his plan and, together with Isaac, ends up arranging for Jacob to flee to live with his uncle. On his journey there, Jacob has a dream that God appears to him. God told Jacob in this dream, "I am the Lord, the God of your father Abraham and the God of Isaac. I will give you and your descendants the land on which you are lying. Your descendants will become like the dust of the earth. You will spread out to the west, east, north, and south. Every family of earth will be blessed because of you and your descendants. I am with you now. I will protect you everywhere you go, and I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I have done everything that I have promised you." Now, why on earth would God make such an incredible proclamation to someone who just stole a blessing from his brother? Surely God could find a better person to make these promises to. But as we've said every week so far, God loves to work through people that we don't expect God to. God doesn't promise Jacob all of these wonderful things because Jacob is perfect and righteous, but because God is. Jacob ends up using his cunning to create a great life for himself. 4 wives, 12 children, and much wealth and prosperity. But as God promised, God ends up calling Jacob home. Jacob is terrified because the last time he saw his brother, Esau had been planning to kill him. Jacob sends ahead a group of gifts for his brother, hoping that that's going to kind of soften him up. But Esau just rejoices at Jacob's return and forgives him instantly. Now you may be thinking, that's a great, heartwarming story and all, but where was Jacob's hero moment? It was actually the night before his reunion with Esau, when Jacob ends up fighting and wrestling with a strange man in the wilderness. All of a sudden, Jacob realizes that it's God that he's wrestling with. And so he refuses to let go until God blesses him. And so God does bless Jacob and tells him that he will henceforth be known as Israel. This is actually really amazing because what we see as the story of the Bible continues to unfold from here is that Jacob's family becomes the nation of Israel, with each of the 12 tribes of Israel descending from his 12 sons, just like God promised. God tells him, "I am El Shaddai, be fertile and multiply. A nation, even a large group of nations, will come from you. Kings will descend from your own children. The land I gave to Abraham and to Isaac, I give to you, and I will give the land to your descendants after you." God blesses Jacob, now Israel, with an unbelievable legacy. Jacob was willing to wrestle with God, in his case, literally. But this battle is a testament to how much faith Jacob actually had in God. He was so certain of God and all that God could do that he refused to let go. God doesn't punish Jacob for wrestling with him. God rewards him. This is a lesson that we should be willing to bring into our own faith lives. You see, having faith doesn't mean that we have to just blindly believe. Wrestling with our questions doesn't make us bad Christians or bad followers of Jesus. It makes us dedicated ones. Having true faith means that we're willing to wrestle with God because we trust who God is. Like strength training for our muscles, when we exercise our faith by challenging the aspects we struggle to understand, it grows stronger. And in wrestling with God about doubts we have or things we don't understand, we come out of the fight blessed by the encounter. Bye, friends.